Today on Commander Replay, find out what happens when I try to build an Angel Reanimator as strong as possible with Saskia at the helm. Can opponents stop our Angels from coming back? Find out next on Commander Replay. I want to thank my awesome Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome. If you want to help support the channel and vote on which decks I play next, feel free to check out my Patreon at the link below. And be sure to use the TCG affiliate player link as it helps support the channel and it doesn't cost you anything. Welcome back, everyone. Playing some Saskia quote-unquote competitive Angels today. Take a look at this opening hand. It's got a few more lands than I like. We're going to mulligan that. This is a bit more reasonable. 3 lands with a Cultivate, some Angels. So this is an Angel Reanimator deck. With this hand, doesn't look like we're going to see so much of the Reanimator half of the deck. We'll go ahead and keep, though. Might just be on the straight ramp plan. So this deck list came as a result of a deck review that I did for someone who was playing a Saskia Angel Reanimator. They were playing in a meta that was kind of strong, so I was seeing like what the limits of how far you could really push Angels. And I thought the best way to do that would be to make a Reanimator deck so you can really get them in quickly and, you know, just kind of cheat them in. You can cheat some of the bigger ones in on, like, turn 2, turn 3, if everything's going well. Plus the fact that you can just keep bringing them back if they die and all that sort of good stuff. So anyway, yeah, at the end of the day, Angels are still Angels. They only get so quick. It's not like slamming an Eldrazi on turn 2 that's probably just going to end the game. They're not that powerful. They're still very good, but you probably need a couple of them, as opposed to, you know, a single Ulamog can finish a table. So I was really just trying to push the limits of where I thought an Angel deck could go. And in the one test game that I played, things actually got pretty wild. Had like I think it was a turn 7 win, where we just went into this big long Reanimator chain of, I think it was like Karmic Guide, get back a Maria Shepherd, play a land, get back something else. Or I got back like an Animate Dead, which grabbed a Golos out of an opponent's graveyard. The Golos grabbed a Solemn Simulacrum out of opponent's graveyard, both of which got plain. So it was just this crazy, crazy chain of Reanimatory goodness. And it was really cool. So I'm hoping to repeat that success again. Doesn't look like we're going to be nearly that fast today, given this hand. And this is a problem that I've noticed playing my normal Aurelia Angels deck, is that sometimes you just draw all the big Angels and, like, no way to discard them, which is, like, not the best, but... here comes Lightning Greaves for opponent. So we'll take a look at what our opponents are playing today. First up, we have Pauper Arbus piloting Skyfire Kirin. It says, whenever you cast a Spirit or Arcane spell, you may gain control of target creature with that spell's converted mana cost until end of turn. It shouldn't be too impactful for us. Our stuff is really big, so unless they have a lot of really big spells, I'm not too worried about it. But I can definitely steal the small stuff on board, and that can be annoying. Here comes a Wood Elves for opponent. Next up, we have El Plurde piloting Jenara, Asura of War. It's sort of unassuming, but very good deck. Like, you're just like, oh, they put +1/+1 counters on it, and then you realize they have a huge flyer on, like, turn 5 or turn 6, and then you die to it. Here comes a Survival of the Fittest, so things probably going to get a little crazy. This is exactly the card that we're looking for, and it is in our deck. We do need to get a Mountain with the to make the Anger active, so that's something we'll want to think about. Ooh, Elhammeret's Archive. Our final opponent, by the way, is Tyrant of Ruin piloting Ayara, First of Locktwain. And they've got a few things going. They got a Soul Ring, a Bantu's Monument, and now the Elhammeret's Archive. So, yeah, they're sitting pretty. That's going to bring it back to our turn. We drew another Angel. That's not what I was looking for right here. That's not the best. Yeah, I guess just play a Forest. Drop a Cultivate. We'll go Mountain into play and Swamp into the hand. And we'll pass turn like that. Opponent's going to make a Kobold? Sure. Going to equip the boots of the Kobold? Why not? Opponent's got up to 3 green mana, which you can really do some crazy things with Survival. Ugh. That's scary. That's a scary card. Can activate Survival? Yep. Gets a Tribe Elder, discards a Cataclysmic Gearhulk. Oh my. Interesting card. A card I always want to run just a little bit more, and I don't know, it's like, as far as removal goes, it's a little bit uncontrollable, and it has the problem that other similar white cards have, which is that their best thing is still in play. So, you know, it's good if opponent just has a lot of things in play, and, you know, you need to get rid of them, but they're still going to be able to keep the best one, and that's probably why you don't see tons and tons of Cataclysmic Gearhulk. Like, if opponent has one big Eldrazi, it's not going to help you that much. Or one really nasty enchantment, they're probably going to keep it. So that's a Siphon Flesh for opponent. Opponent's going to do some sacrificing. We don't have any creatures in play, so not a big deal for us. Opponent's going to crack the score Tribe Elder in response. That makes sense. I might have waited a little bit longer on that Siphon Flesh. Not a ton of value there. Especially against what we're doing. I mean, I guess they don't know what we're doing. I didn't tell them before the game. I would guess that opponents are assuming some sort of Saskia aggro deck, but, you know, got a slightly different flavor for him. So opponent gets one zombie out of the deal, and that'll bring it back to our turn. More lands. Ooh. I don't even know if it makes... I mean, it doesn't really even make sense to cast Saskia here. Let's just keep ramping. Play the Croson Verge, drop the Anger. I guess we can attack someone with Anger. Or do we just leave it back? I don't know. Ayara gains life, doesn't it? Yeah, Ayara does gain life. I don't know. Maybe we just leave the Anger back. Yeah, there's 2 sets of boots in play. Let's just leave the Anger back. Because opponents won't want to put it in our graveyard, so it should be a pretty good deterrent from people attacking us. Give us a little bit of time to get going on the other things that we need to be doing. Ooh, opponent's going to strip mine the coffers. Yeah, that'll make the mono black deck cry. I've played mono black. Your deck with coffers and without coffers is 2 completely different decks. Opponent going to make themselves another Kobold. Put the boots in the Kobold, yeah. Yeah, the thing we're kind of looking for right now is like a wheel or a survival, something to loot our angels into the graveyard. Would be really nice. Opponent passes with all their mana up. That's interesting. They've got enough for Cyclonic Rift, but there's not really that much to Rift. So maybe they're just going to survival a bunch? I don't know. I don't really know what they have. Instant speed something? Maybe? Assumingly, they would have at least cast their commander. Here comes a Solemn Simulacrum for opponent, and that'll trigger the Bantu's Monument. And each opponent will lose 1 life, they will gain 1 life. We go down to 39. One interesting thing to think about is that if we don't crack the Croson Verge, it will be available when a Maria Shepherd is in play, and that can get us 2 planes to reanimate stuff, so as much as I want to crack it at some point, it may make sense to wait until a Maria Shepherd's in. Because there's not tons and tons of planes in the deck, so having a fetch land that can grab them when you need them is actually pretty good. So, yeah, I think I talked myself into waiting on that. So let's play the Reflecting Pool. We've got 6 mana that does not cast any of our angels. Next turn we can cast one, I think. Need to make sure we have enough white mana. We'll need to play the Brushland next turn. So we'll cast Saskia, I guess. Question is, who are we choosing? I'm thinking Ayara. Yeah, they've got a lot of life gain, so we'll swing into the Jenara. And as long as this gets through, this will put a little damage on the Ayara as well. We hit for 3. So 3 commander to the Jenara and 3 damage off the trigger to Ayara. And we'll pass like that. Next turn we can start looking at some angels. Probably going to lead on Angelic Arbiter unless anything crazy comes up. There's a Skyfire Kirin, yeah. I forgot that Saskia has Vigilance. If I remember that, I probably would have attacked with the Anger, honestly. Whoops. Boots to the Kirin, yeah. Skyfire Kirin into the Ayara opponent. So Skyfire does have flying, so I was scratching my head for a second. I'm like, why didn't they block with the Solemn Simulacrum? And it would be because of the flying, so there you go. Interestingly, opponent didn't even activate their survival at the end step like you might expect. Are they sitting on nothing? Is that what's happening? That's a Glenalendra. It's a pretty good card. Ooh, gonna Skull Clamp the Glenalendra. Spicy. Yeah, that seems good. That seems pretty good. Should keep the Ayara opponent in check, though. With Mono Black, you really got to worry about, like, Torment of Hailfire, Tutors, just... There's some nasty sorceries they can be playing, and, Glenalendra has the ability to take care of them. Probably won't attack the Jenara anymore. I don't really want to give him the card draw off the Glenalendra. On the other hand, if we do put, like, the, if we do put the minus counter on it, then, you know, I don't know. It's a tough call, because if it just sits there all game and we can't cast the spell that we need to cast, it's going to be rough. On the other hand, if they use it against things that our opponents are doing, then it's a lot better. So, sort of a tough call. Again, I don't want to give them the card draw, so maybe we just don't go that way. Ayara coming into play, and that'll trigger the Bantu's Monument. Thing that we could do, we could play the Angel of Serenity, get the Glenalendra, get the Ayara. That might cause us to be the arch enemy, though, and, like, I'm not looking to do that just yet. So Ayara trigger will occur, and we'll all lose 1 more life. Oh, opponent said Jenara opponent said they received an email from their boss and forgot to make plays on the end step. That explains a lot.
Oh, opponent going to come in our way with the Solemn Simulacrum. Okay, I guess this is a good time to trade the Anger with the Solemn Simulacrum. So, here you go. mutually beneficial trade. We get a thing in the graveyard to give our other stuff haste, and they get to draw a card. So they draw a card. That's an Animate dead. We don't need it just yet, but at some point it's going to be handy. Let's play the Brushland, make sure we have enough white mana to do the things we want to do. And I think we're going to lead on Angelic Arbiter. I love this card. I was at the shop last night. I was actually drafting a really sweet cube that someone built. Dual lands, fetches, lots of foils, all kinds of cool stuff. Anyway, one of the people I was playing against had an angel deck themselves, and it was headed by Zakama of all things because it was Naya, and they didn't want to use Rian because Rian doesn't like do that much. Most of the angels are mono white, so I get it. Zakama, just cool, powerful card. Anyway, we were exchanging angel deck techs, and Angelic Arbiter and Dawnbreak Reclaimer are the two cards that are really kind of pointed out are absolutely incredible and super cheap to pick up. So. These things cause a headache for our opponents, and we just cast one, so let the headaches commence. And I think we're going to do some attacking. Let us swing into the... I'm going to send the Angel into the Ayara and Saskia into the Skyfire opponent. They can block with a Kobold if they want to, or they can let the damage go through, and that'll really get some damage on Ayara. Angels with haste, pretty good. I've tried to make anger work in my Aurelia deck, and it's just always an awkward slot. It's just never as good as I want it to be, and maybe I just need to test it more. But sometimes I found just like Lightning Greaves are better in the same slot. But haste is really, really good because if you slam these things and they just kind of sit there, opponents do get a really good chance to react to them. So being able to, especially as the game gets later with Aurelia, if Aurelia is already in play and you're like, okay, I've got Aurelia. Now I just need more damage and more power. If you can slam like 2 angels with haste, really, really good. So, a card that I've been testing in Aurelia is something I need to tinker around with a bit more, and maybe you just got unlucky in some scenarios and didn't do the things I wanted to do. Hey now, that's a blind with anger. Opponent's going to steal our... Oh, they're going to steal both of our things. Whoo, yeah, blind with anger. All right. And Skyfire is going to trigger on our Saskia. Opponent can put some damage on us if they want to. And in doing so... Oh, opponent's got a high market. Really, opponent? We're going to play that game. That's super annoying. And they're just going to send everything over to the Ayara. Oh my, this is about to be some damage. Tyrant getting picked on. So they're going to block one, and they're going to take a whole bunch. They go... Whew, it's going to hurt. They go down to 9. It's turn 6. Wow. And opponent's going to sacrifice our Angelic Arbiter. That does make me very sad. I have a foil Angelic Arbiter, by the way, and this card looks amazing in foil. So if you play an Angels deck, get yourself an Angelic Arbiter in foil. As I recall, I don't think they're very expensive, so that's also a cool thing. Opponent's going to Mystical Tutor on the end step. Let's see what they're going for. This could be interesting. Goes for a Wargate. Card I always want to run, but I just never play Bant. Oh, I wonder if I need to add that to my Najeela deck. I probably do, as a matter of fact. That is a nice and cheap tutor. It's $6 in paper. Could be worse. It could be worse. But, for 6 mana, you get Derevi or Druid's Repository, and that's pretty sweet. Opponent's also going to activate their Survival of the Fittest. They discard an Eldrazi Displacer. Bane of Progress would be pretty funny right here. They've got a few things themselves, though. Ooh, it's a Sphinx. Okay, yeah, Sphinxes are good. And Saskia comes back to us at the end of the turn. Should build Saskia Assault Suit. One player would die really quickly. Here comes a Noble Hierarch for opponent. Here comes the Sphinx. Yep. They have given us the choice. There's some cards. We'll put Sphinx's Revelation in the second pile. We'll keep Reliquary out of the pile with Sphinx's Revelation. That seems like a good idea. I don't really want to go 4-1. 4-1 seems pretty crazy. Yeah, we'll move a land to the bot. Yeah, I feel okay about that. Both of those piles are solid. Should at least give opponent a hard choice, though. Stonecloaker are going to be good against the black deck. Also going to be good against what we're doing. Counterspell, just useful all the time. So Sphinx's Rev, on the other hand, also a really good card. They go for the Sphinx's Revelation, so we got rid of the Stonecloaker. And that was kind of what I was going for. I didn't want to make it like super easy, because if we go 4-1, they probably just take the 4. And I'm actually happy they don't have the Stonecloaker now. As good as Sphinx's Revelation is, which it is good. It does require them to like tap out a lot of mana. They don't have a mana doubler at the moment, so you know it takes them a turn to use it. They will gain life and you know all that sort of stuff that goes with it, but it is slow to use, so that's something. The turn after that, though, you're probably in trouble. So that is something to think about as well. They do not have a lot of damage on them. They're still at 34. And we don't have a way to reset this Saskia in this exact second. Here comes an Abhorrent Overlord. Okay. It's going to bring opponent back up to 11 after the Bantu's Monument and the Ayara trigger. I just think they're going to make it back up to 12. Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah, their life gain is doubled. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I now know why I played Saskia on the Ayara opponent. Because here comes a bunch more triggers. Yeah, they went from 9 back up to 23 with the Ayara, the Bantu's Monument, and the Alhammerets. They're going to draw themselves a card. That's not bad. We draw out Teferi's Protection. That could be helpful at some point. We don't have, like... opponents have more stuff in play than us now. It's not the best. What are we doing right here? Kind of been missing the card draw all game. Some sort of card draw or looting or anything that can kind of... We have like Final Parting in the deck, which is another sweet thing. Kind of missing all the stuff that allows us to really go wild. Do we play... Yeah, we probably need to play Angel of Serenity. Again, Glenalendra is sort of like a safety valve on the table. I'm not sure that I really want to take that away just yet. On the other hand, a board wipe probably needs to happen. I mean, this thing is a 6/6, so we got to play a creature. I'm not ready to go for a Marius Shepherd yet. Ideally, that would be after a board wipe. Opponents haven't really used any removal at all, so that's also scary. So, I mean, I guess it's just got to be the Angel of Serenity. So, let's cast Angel of Serenity. Question is, what do we target? I'm thinking Glenalendra, Abhorrent, and Ayara. On the other hand, the Sphinx is also pretty good. So let's go... Ooh, we can get Angelic Arbiter back also. So let's go Angelic Arbiter, Glenalendra, and I think Ayara. So we'll use the ability. Opponent's got that big Abhorrent Overlord. They may try to come in our direction. Some big flyers on the table. I don't think we go anywhere with the Angel of Serenity. I think we do attack into the red player with our Saskia. See if they want to take the damage or not. They may just throw a Kobold in front. They throw the Kobold in front, and I'm fine with that. So by getting rid of the Glenalendra, that does allow a board wipe to go through, and I wouldn't be sad to see one. So Glenalendra stops the board wipe, which is not ideal. Here comes a Signet for opponent. Curse of Opulence. Get ourselves a little extra mana. Going to put that on the Ayara. Going to be tough to get through with the Overlord and the Harpies. Really going to need something kind of big or sturdy, and we have neither. Skyfire going to stay put. One thing to think about, there is a Cataclysmic Gearhulk in opponent's graveyard, and we do have an Animate dead. I think we would lose the least of everyone. Skyfire wouldn't lose that much. Also, I guess I also wouldn't be that sad to reanimate a Solemn Simulacrum either. Opponent's going to send the Sphinx our way. Ooh, it's going to get exalted. Okay. It's got 7 power. Yeah. They could just be wanting us to throw the Angel in front. You know, I think I actually value my life enough in this game to block right here. 7 is a lot. That puts us down to 22. And with the continuous life loss effects from the mono black player, I think that life's actually pretty important. So Angel of Serenity will die, and the exile cards will go back to owner's hands. So we get our Angelic Arbiter back. And opponent's going to have to sacrifice a creature. Going to be one of these tokens right here. Comes a Jet Medallion for opponent. So opponent's got, what, 4 artifacts in play now? Cataclysmic Gearhulk would get them pretty good. Oh, that's a Grave Pact. Ew. They don't appear to have a sacrifice outlet currently, but it makes it really tough to do anything. On the other hand, that would clean out some of our opponent's stuff, but Jenara is going to be drawing like crazy, and that's going to put them ahead, I think. With the Sphinx dying and the Skull Clamp, that's 2 cards, plus the Sphinx's Revelation in hand, which is probably going to be a real difference maker against a slow life loss deck like Ayara, and the fact that having a lot of cards is really good, so okie dokie. If that Sphinx dies for any reason, I'd probably reanimate that. Opponent's going to Sphinx's red for 5. Looks like they're leaving mana up for a counterspell if they can find one. No counterspell. Grave Pact is in. And here we go. Each opponent sacrifices a creature or an enchantment. So sacrifice Saskia. Curse of Opulence down. And opponent sacrifices the Sphinx so they can get the card draw. I'm thinking Animate Dead on the Sphinx this turn. We need to look at some stuff. Oh, that's an attrition. Oh my. The Cataclysmic Gearhulk still doesn't look terrible either, because opponent's still gonna have to choose which things they want to keep. So they will lose something. Wouldn't be sad to see like a Reanimate off the top. That's a Rishkar's Expertise. That's a pretty good card. So we get like Animate Dead, Rishkar's Expertise, and yeah, this feels pretty good. Does opponent have any black mana open? They do not. Okay, yeah, so we're safe for a turn to do this, I think. Animate Dead on the Sphinx of Uthun. The Sphinx comes in, so we get to do the Sphinx thing. I'm going to choose El Plurde. We've been generally friendly to them. Those are some pretty good cards. Yeah. All right, now getting into the Reanimator half of our deck. It's going to put Tribelder in one pile, Land in one pile, Genesis in that pile, Necromancy in that pile. No, that doesn't work either, because we just Necromancy the Angel of Despair. Oh, Reanimator decks. Yeah, pile 2 all the way. That's so much value. Step 2, fire off this Rishkar's Expertise. Oh, yeah, we get some big stuff there. So we get to play a card for 5 or less for free. And I believe that's going to be this Necromancy. So, Necromancy on the Cataclysmic Gearhulk. For all the smack I was talking about Cataclysmic Gearhulk earlier, I think it's about to come in handy. So, Gearhulk comes into play, Gearhulk trigger. Opponents gotta choose which things they want to keep. They'll get to keep one permanent of each type. So I'm going to choose the Animate Dead and the Sphinx, and we'll let the Gearhulk go. Actually, we can keep it as an artifact. Although it'll get sacrificed to the Necromancy, so we'll trim back some permanents from our opponents. So they keep Elhammeret's Archive, Grave Pact, and one Harpy. Grave Pact triggers a bunch of times. But we got them down to just Elhammeret's and just Grave Pact. So what did we get rid of? We got rid of Soul Ring, Bantu's Monument, the Abhorrent Overlord, Jet Medallion, Attrition. Yeah, that's a lot of permanents to be getting rid of, so that worked out. Like I said, they still have 2 good ones left, but we've got the Angel of Despair in our graveyard, so we can shoot the Grave Pact with that. And we can make a land play this turn, so we'll drop the Command Tower. We could Enlighten Tutor now to discard less, but I actually think I want to discard multiple cards right here. So we're going to discard... What are we discarding? Definitely Genesis. That one wants to be in our graveyard. Thinking Avacyn's less good against sacrifice effects. Yeah, but Avacyn's really difficult to hardcast, so Avacyn. Oh, we got one more to go. Guess it's going to be Rhea. And depending on how many land... Ooh, yeah, so next turn is going to be the Amaria Shepherd turn. And so we cast Amaria Shepherd. We play the Marsh Flats. We'll get back Animate Dead or Necromancy. We'll play the Tribelder, assuming we have enough mana, which I hope we do. Crack the Tribelder, crack the Marsh Flats, get 2 planes. Probably get Angel of Despair and maybe Avacyn. Conjurer's Closet for our opponent. Everflame Eidolon for opponent. Yeah. So we have Enlightened Tutor in hand. I guess the question is, what do we tutor for? Opponent's going to put boots on their thing as we go over and check here. So we've got Animate Dead. We've got Necromancy. Greater Good's a pretty serious card. As is Sneak Attack. Sneak Attack is also really good. Especially, ooh, yeah. So we could also think about a Sneak Attack line of play. Although, we don't have that much red mana. We have 1 red mana, 2 red mana, 3 red mana. So we'd be able to Sneak Attack 2 things. Opponent's going to send the Everflame Eidolon over to the Ayara. Yeah. Maybe we're going to hold off. Ooh, Mirari's Wake. Mirari's Wake also sounds good. Is there a Zendikar Resurgent in this deck? Opponent blocks with their last token. Grave Pact triggers, and that'll sacrifice the last creature. Rhythm of the Wild's also in this deck. I'm going to wait on this Enlightened Tutor because there's still a lot of good options left. And I don't know which one we need first. So right now we've got a big line of play with Amaria Shepherd. And I think we're just going to go on that. Opponent grabbed a Harmonic Sliver. That's actually really good. So if they can take down the Grave Pact, then we can do other things. And I like the way that sounds. Here comes the Harmonic Sliver. For once, it's not going to hit us, because whenever I see Artifact Destruction, it's usually hitting me. Grave Pact going to go down. Glen Elendra. That's actually okay. We're casting all creatures this turn. Next turn, the turn after that, it could be a headache, but opponent's sitting on 2 mana. Hopefully they don't have the counter. I figured they probably would have countered something on our turn if they did, but... Dark Prophecy in for opponent. Yeah. Luckily, we've cleaned them out pretty good, so they don't have all that much going on. So that's going to bring it back to our turn. Oh my god, I forgot we have a Genesis trigger. I think we're just going to skip that for now. I've kind of got our turn planned out already. 2 opponents are at 1 card in hand, so the interaction's all going to have to come from Jenara. So skip the Genesis trigger. Ooh, that's a Plains. Yeah, let's get the Emeria Shepherd. Oh, this is actually going to be a good time for the Croson Verge. Opponent just waiting. It's going to make me nervous. Oh, made it. Whoo! Yeah, all right. Looking good now. Play this Marsh Flats. Get back the Animate Dead. Return it to the hand. Crack the Marsh Flats. Oh, opponent's going to path it. Oh, no. Oh, we don't have a way to sacrifice it. Our big turn. Our big turn. No. Oh, man. Use the ability. Well, now that that's exiled, I guess just get a Plains. Oh, that's so disappointing. At least we got the Animate Dead back. It'd be so much worse if we didn't. I'm going to get Plains right here. We can sit on Teferi's Protection. We can sit on Enlightened Tutor. Could also crack the Croson Verge. I think we just go for the Croson Verge right here. Now that we're going to start to have a lot of lands in play, we can just start hard casting things left and right. Get Temple Garden and say no. Sacred Foundry, say no. Pass like that. Here comes Aura Gorger. Whenever you cast a spirit or arcane spell, you may destroy target non-basic land. What? Don't feel great about that. Opponent's going to play a spirit, get to destroy a land. Gonna shoot the Strip Mine. Cool. I'm okay with that. Opponent's going to put the boots on the Gorger. Gonna send it into the Ayara. Opponent's going to Conjurer's Closet. Don't be an ETB. No, it's a cast. Okay. Here comes an Evoked Muldrifter for opponent. That tells me they might not have that much left in hand. They're evoking a Muldrifter. They had like 5 or 6 cards. Might be a lot of lands. That's a Fire and Ice for opponent. We don't have too many red or blue creatures in the deck. Does give him protection from Saskia. Can equip it to the Glenalendra. I'm going to put a stop on our upkeep, and I'm going to try the Enlightened Tutor, I think, because if they sacrifice the Glenalendra, it'll have the sword de-equipped, and they'll only have 1 mana. They're going to go on the attack into the Skyfire opponent, and assuming... Well, they can't shoot that one. It's got boots on it. They can shoot the Rusalka, though. So they get a sword trigger. Shoot the Rusalka. They can sacrifice the Rusalka. Yeah, they're going to do it. Sacrifice the Rusalka, and I think this fizzles the card draw, actually. And it does. Card draw fizzled. Here comes Ayara back to play. Opponent thinks this all for 1. Back to our turn. Genesis trigger. So this turn I think is going to be Angelic Arbiter and maybe Dawnbreak Reclaimer if we have enough mana. And Animate Dead, potentially. Yeah, okay, so... Actually, let's count it all up. 1, 2, 13. We'll have 13 total mana. This is 7. That'll be 8. We'll probably get the Tribelder in. That'd be 10. So it'd be Tribelder or Animate Dead. Actually, you want what we can do? We can Genesis the Angel of Serenity. So I'm going to pay green, red, and I guess another green. So Angel of Serenity comes back. Let's try the Enlightened Tutor. Oh, yeah, we've got some choices. Sneak Attack and Greater Good are probably at the front for me here. I think I'm going to try the Sneak Attack. So draw the Sneak Attack, play the Plains, get Angel of Serenity, exile the Sliver, the Glenalendra, and the Ayara. Use the ability. Gonna Animate Dead on the Angel of Despair. We're gonna shoot the Survival of the Fittest. That is a very scary card. Opponent can activate the Survival. They discard their own Angel of Serenity. Interesting. Ooh, they go for a body double, huh? That's bad. There's a Rhea, or there's an Avacyn in our graveyard. That seems bad. So we'll send both angels into them. We'll need to start making plans about how we're going to deal with the body double on Avacyn. I think it's probably going to be something along the lines of find a way to kill this Angel of Serenity, reanimate the Angel of Serenity, and then exile their body double. The other thing we could do, too, if our stuff sticks in play, we could just recast Saskia and name them and blast someone, because our other opponents don't actually have that much going on. Opponent's going to recast their commander, and they're going to shoot. They get to destroy a non-basic land. Oh, nope, they're going to go, wow. Going to go for the Jenara's lands. I probably would have shot one of my own right there. Opponent going to do some attacking, going to split it up between the remaining two opponents. They each take 3, Conjurer's Closet at the end step, and opponent untaps their creature with it. Here comes the body double, Avacyn. Oh, Angel of Serenity. All right, all right. Opponent going to get our Angel of Serenity and the Angel of Despair. Animate that will go back to the graveyard. Okay. Here comes a Harmonic Sliver. It's going to shoot the Lightning Greaves. Card I wouldn't mind seeing is Aurelia. If we got Aurelia or Gisela with the sneak attack, it's going to be pretty good. Also glad opponent recast our Harmonic Sliver right now. Glad they didn't do it with on our sneak attack. Oh, you want what we can do? We can Teferi's protect the sack trigger. Oh yeah, that's a thing. Opponent's gonna put a curse on us whenever a player attacks us. They'll get a 2/2 zombie. Oh, that's a Toxic Deluge. Oh my god. Oh my god. So Angel of Serenity is going to give us our stuff back. Sneak attack is looking insane right now. Opponent's going to get the draw with the Skull Clamp. Oh my god, I'm so excited about this turn. There's Angel of Despair and Angel of Serenity coming back. Genesis trigger. Okay, let's think about our turn. It's going to take 4 mana to cast Sneak Attack. And then we'll get 3 activations off Sneak Attack. And then we'll need to use the rest to Teferi's Protect. So let's, because we're going to Teferi's Protect, I'm going to go for Rhea right here. Oh, this is going to be the turn. Okay, we can use green mana for that. Don't think we need to use any black mana this turn. Go to our draw step. Oh, it's a Blasphemous Act. We don't require a Blasphemous Act in this moment. The board was just wiped. So, I think we go Sneak Attack and start sneaking things in. Pay a red. First thing we'll get is Rhea. Sneak Attack again. Pay another red. Think Angel of Despair. Shooting. Oh man, there's a lot of good targets. Go for the Fire and Ice, I guess. We can Sneak Attack one more thing. Angel of Serenity would bring back a bunch of, like, we could get a bunch of creatures from our graveyard. Actually, no, because it's not going to do anything because we're just going to Teferi's Protect. Angelic Arbiter is probably just a good one to have in play. It won't be in play this turn, but solid next turn. Yeah, I think it's the Arbiter. Swing into the Jenara opponent, and we're going to phase out so that our creatures do not get sacrificed to the Sneak Attack. There's the sacrifice triggers. Opponent's down to 5, and opponents won't be able to respond at sorcery speed. Opponents are going to need instant speed stuff to deal with what we're doing. Opponent says, nice play. Here comes the Skyfire back to play, yeah. Opponent cracks a fetch, goes to 4. Getting down there. Brings it in untapped, goes to 2. Eldamri's Call, they need something big. Blazing Archon? I don't think they have the mana for it, but it would be good. Resolute Archangel is a good card. And here comes the Resolute Archangel. Opponent goes back to 40, gains themselves 38 life. Nice. That's going to buy them a couple turns. Like, that's going to buy them a while. Skull Clamp on the Resolute Archangel. Yup. So now we want to find Aurelia or Gisela. Those are the ones that are going to help us really close the game out. Here comes Ayara back to play. Our life total cannot change. Each opponent gets dinged for 1. And that'll bring it back to our turn. So let's Rhea on the Avacyn. And is there anything that we want to Genesis? No, actually. We've pulled everything else out. Yeah, so nothing on the Genesis. Use the Rhea ability. Avacyn's into play. There's a Windswept Heath. Play the Windswept Heath. I think it's Saskia time, actually. Saskia into play, choosing the Jenara player. Surprisingly, we've never actually seen Jenara this game. It's kind of odd. If we do sneak attack things, then, well, how much damage is this? Let's go everything. Just throw caution to the wind. Why not? Angel of Serenity. Exile the Resolute Archangel, the Ayara, and the Skyfire. A lot of Angel of Serenity play this game. Angel of Serenity, it's a solid card. Sometimes I undervalue it just a little bit, and this game, it has just been bonkers for us. Fixing all the problems. Get the Dawnbreak Reclaimer. Play Sakura Tribelder. All right, we got some damage we can do. See how many players we can kill. Oh, let's do it. All right, I've grossly miscalculated. It's 13, 18, 22, 30, 35, 36. Okay, we need to send very little into Jenara. In fact, only Saskia needs to go into Jenara. Combat math. Hope this is right. My goal right here is to kill Jenara and Ayara, just because they have the scariest decks. The mono red one doesn't scare me quite as much, especially at this stage of the game. So Ayara goes down. There's the bunch of Saskia triggers. Auto those triggers. Oh, they survived at 3. Oh, that's bad. Well, they're going to get a crack at it. Whoops. And the combat math failed. I don't know what I missed. Missed something. Stay in school, kids. Learn your combat math. We got a Dawnbreak Reclaimer trigger and 2 sneak attack triggers. Angel of Serenity down. Opponent can have this Scorched Resulca back. They would like to return our Anger. I'm thinking no. Cyclonic Rift or Mass Bounce. Only thing I'm really worried about, there could be some white stuff like Terminus or Hallowed Burial. Exile stuff might be a little bit scary, but for the most part, people don't run those. You don't see them quite as much, although Bant might be the kind of deck that does run it. Although, I guess, no, yeah, Rift is still a problem. Fogs are a problem. Oh, that's Tragic Arrogance. Oh, that's so bad. That's so bad. Well, Sneak Attack is going to stick. Opponent's going to choose their Tribelder. Should have sacrificed that in response. Whoops. It's okay, we can make it work. So all of our stuff getting blued up. Ah, that's a Bane of Progress. Okay. Okay. Sneak Attack down. So we will have to hardcast things. We could also just recast Saskia to take down the Jenara player. So sacrifice, maybe we just keep the Tribelder. Tribelder's extra damage. Thinking we could use a Reanimator Angel. I guess we'll keep the Tribelder with opponents at 6 and 3. That damage is like fairly relevant. Genesis will trigger. I'm going to go for Avacyn just because it requires really specific things to interact with it. There's an Anguished Unmaking. Does that help? Not that much. So cast Avacyn. Genesis putting in some work now. And that's why it's in here, in case the game goes really late and you run out of stuff. So Jenara finally goes down. They've been a thorn in our side. And mono red opponent's got a mighty task in front of them. They would need to like All Is Dust and Tormod's Crypt. That would really kind of put a stop to us. Although we still got Saskia, so they really need a lot of stuff. That's a Gauntlet of Might. I don't think that... Well, they got 2 cards left. It really needs to be something special. Malignus is cool. It's an elemental spirit. Yeah, Malignus is a 15/15. Why not? That'll bring it back to our turn. Genesis. Genesis on the Rhea. Just in case. Overtapped. Should be okay. There's a Rhythm of the Wild. In with the Avacyn. Down they go. Angel Reanimator getting there. Being super resilient. Wasn't as fast as I was hoping. I've definitely had faster games with this deck. But our opening hand was a little bit clunky with just like a lot of angels and nothing to do with them. You really want to see things like Sneak Attack and your Reanimates and Survival of the Fittest and all that kind of good stuff. Took a little while for those things to show up, but once they did, doing some crazy things with Sneak Attack. We got some work in with Genesis. Angel of Serenity, just MVP this game, doing so much stuff for us. Yeah. This is a fun little deck that I put together, and it is quite spicy. I would love to build something like this in paper, but I 100% do not have the mana base for this, because this is a very ambitious mana base. You need a lot of multicolor lands, a lot of fetches, probably duels, shocks, all that kind of stuff, because you get stretched really thin. So, like, all the other stuff in the deck is like red, green, black, and then all the creatures are like double and triple white. So that's just some really hard casting cost. You know, if you can guarantee having Chromatic Lantern or like Joiner Adept in play, that's a step in the right direction. But ooh, the mana cost in this deck. But yeah, this deck is fun. Like, it's like blow angels up, okay, bring all the angels back. Blow the angels up, bring all the angels back, and just keep going until you basically force opponents to keep answering you. And that's kind of what happened in the last few turns, that opponents had to spend all their time answering us, and they couldn't really get anything going themselves. Plus the Angel of Serenity kind of taking the wind out of their sails. So good. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Thank you for watching.